So this is normally the scene for my writing or creativity clips. But for this channel, I do talk about other things that crop up that perhaps I don't wish to put on my other channel. This one's a bit more private because I don't tell people about it. But there has been a situation recently in my life. I don't want to go into too much detail about it. I just want to talk around it maybe. Just maybe talk it out of me. I often talk about the value of walking and talking, hence the title of this channel of how we can walk things out of our bodies, and also if we're talking to someone, or even just talking aloud as I am, it helps us clear our bodies and our minds of something. And it's so important to clear our bodies of things, just so they don't sit there, take residence and create something. I love this tree. I just stopped to pause and look at this tree. Beautiful. That bark is beautiful, so different. So the situation I've found myself going through is a situation that seems to be a recurring one in my life. I'm not quite sure when it started, and it's happened with different people over the years. So once I get rid of one situation, it seems to crop up again with other people. Sometimes quickly, sometimes not so quickly, and sometimes, or often, when I think I'm clear and I think I'm okay, it comes up again. And I'm not quite sure how to stop it, really. I do want to stop it. It is something that I don't always want as part of my life, because it's completely saps my energy. It questions my values at certain points of it. And my values are a huge part of why it happens, I think, because I am essentially, deep down to the core of me, a kind and compassionate person. I know that to be true. So I will always help people in need. And if it seems like they're being singled out or treated differently, then I will want to stand by their side, and I've done that. And I've given them a sounding board and given them a person, and been there physically, mentally, emotionally, as a friend. And if not a friend, if I haven't necessarily thought of going that far as a friend, then as an ally. And as has happened before, I've questioned whether there has been manipulation involved. So whenever mental health is used very quickly by people, because of the work that I do, I am wary of that, and do always hold in my thoughts that there could be more, or to the mental health, or the mental health, maybe a ruse, if you like. Maybe there is obviously a mental health problem issue, but it could also be covering up other things. And I only ever go as far as the point where I feel free to be offering what I offer, that the support is taken as it's meant, and that I don't feel manipulated or insulted or things I've said or done being used against me. Once that happens, I back off completely. I'm always astounded how other people around can stay clear of these things and just not get involved, not wish to help, or just not be affected by it, just maybe simply not notice what's going on with people, or just not caring. And that, I've come to understand, is beyond me. I do care. I do care about people. I care about myself. It's my whole business and my writing, so it's completely natural. And then there came a point where it felt a little bit like manipulation, and I became more wary of it, and I noticed more. I'm generally someone who notices a lot of things anyway. I do have hypervigilance due to, I imagine, childhood things that have happened. So I do have all of that in place, and I am very aware and very wary. I stopped short saying suspicious because I like to give people a chance, but as soon as it gets to that point, I stop. I have previously, I know, in previous situations, fallen for the sub-story or the hoovering that comes afterwards, and haven't necessarily made as clean a break as I would have liked to, or perhaps should have, in the situation I've been presented with. And this time, I think the difference is I have stopped, I have pulled back, and I have very, very cleanly on my side stopped and covered myself, because if there is an element of danger, I don't mean necessarily physical danger, but mental and emotional danger, things that could be said, I have covered myself. I hope. I think. I'm being much more gentle with myself this time as well. So things are changing, because I'm acknowledging that it is part of who I am. I do wish to help people. I will always help people. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I was very aware, due to maybe previous knowledge of A, this person, and B, how it's previously gone with me, and how people can manipulate or try to manipulate kindness and compassion and see it as a weakness, which it isn't in me. I believe it, as a Buddhist, to be a complete strength. And I've locked down my life and my activities, I think, to make sure I'm covered. And I wanted to walk and talk this through. This has helped, actually, because as I've been walking and talking it out loud, getting out of my body, it has helped. And I've realised that at every step of the way, I've done what has fitted in with my values. I've given them a chance. I've looked at the fine line. I've used my experience, both the professional and the personal experience and knowledge and skills, to look at it. And maybe the other person hasn't wished to use it as manipulation. Maybe that's just how they are. And that's also very, very sad, isn't it? It's very sad when people are naturally that way. And I've been so used to it through childhood. I mean, I think I was raised with this, that I am prepared. I'm ready. I have all the techniques to deal with it. I have a good memory, so I know what I've said, so I can't be caught out. And a couple of times this person has come back with memories and said things, and I've been able to show that I've remembered clearly either what I've said or done at the time. And something I said last year, would have been summer last year, or maybe this time last year, to them, which they hadn't brought up, they hadn't said, they hadn't anything. And it was brought up in a moment when they weren't very happy with me. And they did end up, and it's brought up in front of other people. I don't know if it was brought up to shame me in some way, which it certainly didn't. But it kind of opened up this door to allowing me to step away and say no more. This does not happen anymore, and I can back off, and I can back off knowing I've done all I can, and I've stood within my values. I've certainly stood within integrity. I've most definitely shown compassion. Freedom, I believe in the non-judgment. I've offered freedom, and I've also protected my freedom. Curiosity is another value of mine. I've definitely been curious. I've been curious as to what's been happening in me, and I've been curious as to their situation, allowed them to talk. So I've sat firmly within my values, and I've sat firmly within how I've been with them and other people, and the chances that I've given. So perhaps, even though it's the same situation, perhaps after all, I have shifted. Perhaps this is not just a repetition of previous situations. I was forewarned. I had previous knowledge. So in that respect, I understand. But it is repeating, and that's what bothers me. But I have, in the talking of this, realised that there's also progress and healing that's happened as well. I have behaved differently throughout it. So there's my conclusion. A situation can change if you deal with it differently.